Pierso 86 here. As you can see, we're no longer in Windurst. We teleported back to the port town of Selbina. It is a gloomy, gloomy night. Perfect night to go out and do some leveling. So some things I did off camera. I went ahead and got us some new duds. We're still using the same shield, but got a new sword. Got some of the bone armor here. Got us a leather belt. And I think as a login bonus, Square Enix was kind enough to give me, I just have to pull it up here, this Chad ring right here. One charge gives 150% experience bonus. I think we'll save that for the higher levels when it's a little harder to level up. Another thing that I did, if you recall from the last episode, we ended up getting Sid, Quiltada, and King of Hearts. I actually got Rahal and Makki-Chebukki. These two were purchased from the Signet Guard with conquest points that we get from collecting crystals. So this one is a ranger, uses a longbow. From looking up online, apparently they're pretty alright. They stay away from combat, hit from a distance, but apparently when Lights Day happens, because the days of the week in Vana'diel are based on elements, if it's Lights Day, apparently Makki will do nothing. And Rahal is a tank. So I don't know how much we're going to try out the tank classes yet, just because I myself am intending to play the tank. Let's get out there, because we want to get ready for mission 1-3, and we also want to do that sub-job quest that I talked about earlier. I haven't flagged the quest yet, but I already know what items we need. So let's go take care of that. So the 3 items that you require in order to get support job from that quest in Selbina are a crab apron, a damselfly worm, and a magicked skull. So the crab apron and the damselfly worm are pretty easy to obtain. We can hit 2 birds with 1 stone by getting those while we level up. And the magic skull is a little harder to obtain, but and I'm sure many of you watching know a place you can go where it's a bit easier to obtain that. So let's see, for our party, we're definitely going to want a healer. I'm playing as a warrior. Now, I definitely want to switch this up as we go. Try some of these guys out. Let's try Makki-Chebukki. And let's also try Quiltada, the Corsair. Let's just have some fun with this. Now, we are level 16, so goblin activity. So I think we should be okay to fight crabs. Might even be okay to fight damselflies. They're still showing up as incredibly tough. Maybe give that one another level or 2. Back in the old day, you'd generally only level up in this area until about level 20, and then you'd move on somewhere else. But fighting the crabs and the damselflies will serve our purpose since we need items off them anyway. Let's grab a page. Cancel whatever we were doing before. And let's see, what's page 3? 5 damselflies, 3 members of the crab family. Target level 18 to 23. Let's see what page 2 was. 6 members of the crab family, 2 hill lizards. 15 to 22. Let's go with page 3, because I think we're going to level up fairly quick. I'm going to go ahead and use the Empress Band, so we get the experience bonus. That'll give us 1.5 times the experience. And now we go out and start fighting stuff. Now, if I remember correctly, the crabs do not link, so we don't have to worry about another crab jumping in. However, I'm 100% positive the damselflies link. So we'll want to be really careful that when we start fighting damselflies, we keep them isolated. And those thread leeches will absolutely fuck you up, so we don't want to be fighting those anytime soon. Alright, here we go. First party poll of this series. Just have to watch out for that goblin over there. So with me playing the tank, I used Provoke. My job is to keep this crab on me as much as possible. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of abilities at my disposal, so I basically just have to keep using Provoke as I can every 30 seconds. 5-second cooldown left. And my skills are going up. So Kotaro gave us an attack and ranged attack enhanced for Hunter's roll or Chaos roll. Well, that's alright. I'm using melee attacks and our archer back there is using ranged attacks, so that works out real nice. Now I do have the Berserk ability, but that's an ability that I'm not... Holy, that's a lot of experience. But the Berserk ability is something I'm not going to use while I'm tanking, just because it does cause defense down. So that's a better ability to use if you're focusing more on damage dealing, or if you're just out screwing around with little consequence. Okay, so the second digit is 1, and the first digit is even. Okay, let's try some guesswork here. Less than 61. Oh crap, I fucked that up. Oh, well that still kind of worked out. I meant to put 41, not 31. There we go. Let's see what we got. A chunk of iron ore. And a pair of black slacks. Now I have to ask, would you keep a pair of pants that you found on a wild crab? Answer in the comments below. No one will judge you. Okay, next pull. It's always really nice when you don't have to worry about other enemies linking and jumping in. It definitely makes pulling a lot less stressful. Back in the good old days of human groups, a lot of times, like what I'm doing right now is what people would call voke pulling, so provoke pulling. Back in the day, people would tend to use bows and arrows, crossbows, even like boomerangs and chakrams and stuff like that to get an enemy's attention and have them come over and attack. Unfortunately, I can't command Makki over there to do that. That'd be a little complicated. So it's left to me to do that. Now I'll keep the pot of silent oil. You never know if we'll need it. We're getting a buttload of experience out here. No crab apron yet, but we will keep searching. Having a healer is really wonderful too, in addition to, of course, getting healed. You can see up here that Kupipi has actually casted Protect on us, so we have enhanced defense. And Quiltada's pulling out a gun and shooting. That's awesome. It is kind of neat having a pirate-looking fella on our team. Just getting a look at everybody here. The unfortunate thing with this team is I don't think we're really set up to do skill chains where one weapon skill is done immediately after another one and then there's a chain reaction. But hey, we're just having fun and trying these guys out. And look at that, we got our crab apron and level 17. So we're off to a good start. Let's try this chest here. You guys watch out for trouble, make sure we don't get jumped. Look at them, they're getting right on that. So second digit is 3 or 5. The first digit is even. First digit, so it's going to be 83 or 85. Do we have 2 guesses left? We do. Alright, so it's going to be 85. Give us some loot. Oh boy, a chicken bone. My favorite. And a potion +1 that we can actually keep that won't disappear when we zone out. And a U wand. Well, that'll come in handy when we play a mage job. We already took out 3 crabs, and that Field of Valor page says that in addition to 3 crabs, we need to now take out 5 Damselflies. So I think we will try a Damselfly and see how that goes. And we can always switch up our trusts as we go too, just to show the rest of them off. Alright, let's give this a go. Here's to hoping. I really can't wait to try Paladin again and actually have some healing abilities and some additional things I can do. Right now, all I can do is Voke and Swing. Oh, and Makki's back there. I really can't wait until we can summon additional trusts and have an entire team. That's going to be a lot of fun. The possible combinations for that are going to be huge. Oh, this is going pretty well. Like I said before, these guys can link. They tend to use a lot of poison-based moves. They actually have one move called Cursed Sphere, which is an area of effect attack that does pretty high damage and can also poison the party. And holy shit, we got a Damselfly worm already. We're off to a very good start. Oh, these are temp items. I don't know why I took the ether, but whatever. Actually, since we have those temp items, and I haven't been using any of them, let's go ahead and use that potion +2 so I don't have to worry about resting. So we already have 2 of the 3 items that we need for the support job quest. While we're out here, let's try switching it up here. So let's get rid of Ultada and Makki. Kupipi will be staying out for every trust tryout here because it's important that we have a healer. You wouldn't do that. Ultada, you gotta go. Come on. Did you just call me a seagull? Whatever, we'll let that slide. So let's try King of Hearts, which I believe is supposed to be like a red mage support. Need red mage? Please send tell. That's cool. And why don't we bring out Sid as well? Sid's a warrior type, but from what I've read, I don't think he actually provokes or tanks. I think he's just kind of damage support. Uses a hammer and a gun. The way he's standing looks really funny. It looks like he's trying too hard to look like he's ready to fight. Look at that squat. Ugh, makes my knees hurt. So King of Hearts is casting Dia. Okay, so King of Hearts is just going full and feeble right now. Oh, look at that. He's twirling his staff. Like a little badass. Oh, man. He's also casting buffs, too, so there's a bit of redundancy between him and Kupipi. And Sid's just swapping between his weapon and a gun. Oh, King of Hearts even does some stat healing moves as well, too, like Poisona. So yeah, FF11 Encyclopedia really put it well. He's just like a full-on support character. It's kind of neat. Elixir. And an antidote. I did not think we'd be leveling up this quick, but here we are. Alright, let's do another one here. And we just learned Red Lotus Blade. Let's go ahead and use that. I gotta make a macro for it still. Red Lotus Blade seems to definitely be one of the go-to sword weapon skills. So we'll definitely be using that a lot. I have to say the trusts we've used so far have not been bad for hate control either. I don't feel like I'm struggling to... Like, I'm not even trying that hard, and I don't feel like I'm struggling to keep hate off of these guys at all. because sometimes your companions will generate so much hate that they pull the mob right off of you. I'm definitely gonna have to do some work on the chat filters too. We got a lot of text coming up. Okay, so it's gonna be 80 or 82 because both are even. And we failed. Glad I cleared up inventory space. We're getting a lot of stuff. Kind of want to throw away the chicken bone, but what if it has some deep significance? What if you need it for a quest? This goblin's only coming up as tough, so let's go ahead and do some crowd control here. Yeah, we got a goblin tinkerer wandering over here too. Oh, we might have some... Oh, no, he stopped. Anybody who played this game in the past knows the fear and, oh shit, adrenaline when a second mob runs in, because generally it's a group of people ganging up on one mob. I know in a lot of MMOs you get a group of players fighting a group of mobs. Let's take this guy down. Oh, just hoping we can kill him. Oh, he died before he threw the bomb. But, yeah, anybody who's played this game in the past knows that fear, that oh shit, that we gotta be on our A game when a second mob, or even a second and a third mob rush in, and you have to work your way through that one mob and endure the attacks of that second one. Sometimes if you had a really on-the-ball mage or a bard, they would try to put the second mob to sleep, and as long as nobody attacked it, you'd stay asleep, hopefully. But yeah, those were... It was quite a gamble. Those were some fun, both fun and devastating moments back in the day. Man, Sid and King of Hearts take no shit. So I think we'll get till to about level 20. And then we'll go for the Magic Skull. We'll probably end up gaining some more experience for that one too. The Magic Skull, as you can probably guess from the name, drops off of what's called a ghoul, which is a skeleton sprite enemy. Problem with those though is they only come out at night when you're in a place like this where you're exposed to the sky. So you have a limited window as to when you can find them. However, there are areas you can go to if you know where to look where they're away from the sky and it's always dark, favorable conditions. So there's actually a place we can go to in Conchitat Highlands called the Gusgen Mines. It's another one of those kind of hidden areas like the Dangraf Wadi that I pointed out when we first started this series. And the ghouls are in there 24/7. I do find that getting the crab apron and the damselfly worm generally don't take very long. The magic skull, for some reason, I don't know if it's just a lower drop rate, but the magic skull I find always takes me a long time to get. I think the last time I tried to get it on a different character, I think it took me upwards of like at least a few hours for it to drop, so hopefully that's not the case for us. If it is, well, that's what editing is for. Alright, last damselfly for that page. Oh, Sid pulled some hate off me. He used True Strike. Sid and I are back and forth on the hate right now. But I guess Sid is a warrior. He could kind of sort of pass as a tank. That's all right. Nice. Oh wow, 52 tabs. So if we did, yeah, so it probably wouldn't be that hard to get 500 and some more tabs and get those 2 trusts. And look at that, we're at level 20. Any of you people that played this in the past are shaking your head going, wow, you have it easy. And you are right. We could have run back to the outpost and done a book port, but I do want to save those tabs for those new trusts. And to be honest, we're really not far away from Kronstadt Highlands anyway, so I'm not too concerned. Hello. We were the hunted. Now you are the hunted. So just to show you how kind of awkward it can get. So I'm going over and aggroing a second guy here. We'll jump back to our first. We're going to be okay. But this is where it can get kind of awkward if you have two mobs. Because now you want to try and make sure that both these mobs stay off of your party. And as you can see, I'm counting down my Berserk cooldown. So it can get a little awkward when there's a lot going on. Pulling when you were in a party, going out and being the one to actually pull a mob in for the rest of the party could be a really stressful experience because the party's counting on you to not overwhelm the party. And I can tell you from experience that, you know, sometimes you're just not paying attention. Sometimes you make a stupid mistake or you underestimate how far a mob can link. Sometimes you just fit a bad luck. Shit happens. Some groups were more understanding than others. There were some people. There were times where even I got frustrated with other players, just if it was like consistently, okay, like you're not getting it, you know, get good, get better. But there were other times too where there were people in groups that would flip out about every little thing and you'd be like, oh, come on guys, it's a game. Chill out. I actually had a guy, I was playing Dark Knight years and years ago back on Diabolos, and I think we were out in, there's a zone we'll go to later called Altepa Desert, and we were out fighting there, and I was playing Dark Knight, which is like a full-on damage dealer, and they wanted me to tank, despite the fact that Dark Knight is not a tank job. It has the defensive equivalent of a wet paper bag, and I'm like, okay, well, I can maybe tank for the first little bit, but then somebody's got to pull hate off me, otherwise I'm going to die. And this one guy just kept yelling at me, and I'm like, I don't understand what do you want me to do? Why are you getting upset? And he told me I had to tank better. I'm like, I'm holding hate until, because I think they had like a warrior or someone doing the pulling. And I was like, I'm holding hate until the guy who did the pulling can take the hate off me. What more do you want from me? And this guy was like sending me death threats and saying he was gonna find where I lived and kill me and rape my family and all that stuff. So for the most part it was a good community, but there were always the few unsavory fucks like that. We're back in Kronstadt Highlands where we actually have a map. So Gusgen Mines, it's as I said before, it's another one where it's not listed on the map. My memory serves me correctly. I can't get the marker to go over any further, but it's just east of that marker. I think you have to zoom and play with the zoom on the map a little bit for that to actually be able to move over. So we'll go there, see if we can camp some ghouls. There's another book in there as well too. I think there's actually literally, there's a page in there that says kill X amount of members of the skeleton family, and that's more or less 90% of what we're going to run into in there anyway, so that'll serve our needs very well. We do also still need to grab, remember when we were in Selbina and there was the start of that Rhapsodies of Vana'diel quest, and they were saying that we need to grab 3 clumps of, was it pollen, in order to advance further in that quest. I've been doing some thinking, and I was actually doing some reading off camera about Rhapsodies of Vana'diel, because that one is very, very new to me. There are actually, that's the one that we need to advance in order to eventually be able to summon more trusts. So I think we're going to kind of bounce back and forth between Rhapsodies and the main Bastok Nation quest from the original vanilla game. By vanilla, I mean prior to expansions being introduced. So we'll just kill some bees on the way, see if we can get some of those clumps of pollen. I know they said to kill them around the crag, but I figure they've got to be the same. They've got to be the same enemy, the same code for this entire map, so I don't think it's going to matter.